Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart, and God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread, healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed, and we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I want to tell you I'm so glad that you joined me on today. It's Tuesday, children, September the 5th in the year 2023, and it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. Now, look at here. It's good to have every last one of you here in the room this morning with me in the Lion's Den. You know how we get this started. Listen, yesterday must have been a hard one for the peepers, because listen, as Rebel said, the peoples, listen, I got one good one in the VIP section, and the other two are going to be surprised this morning, because who knew that you were going to get in Grandpa Holmes's chair in the VIP section? The third person that made it in was none other than Rebel Inc. Come on, Rebel Inc. Sit down. Sit down right over there on that love seat, Rebel. Sit down. You get to chill this morning because you were the third person in the Lion's Den this morning. So much mad love to you and congratulations. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning, Stacy 546. Come on. Mad love to you. I appreciate you. That's my sister and my friend all the way back from school days. That's how far we go back, cheering. Now, the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair is none other than CJ Manning 7. Come on. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair. Get your lips, get your hips, and your fingertips in that chair, sir. The throne is yours. Come on. You did that. CJ Manning 7 came in the VIP section this morning early and was giving everybody love and wishing everybody to have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for that, and I appreciate you. Now, let's come on down, because you know how we do after that. I love to come on and get that mod love out, because I have the best mods in the world. Please believe it. I see that mod love, BTD mom. Come on in here, Shelly Thunder. That's my girl right there. Yes, Shelly Thunder is the prophetess. She is the one that will give you a word in season from the scripture. She will pray the prayer of faith, and I'm telling you, praying miracles, signs, and wonders over your life, in your life, through your life. Honey, the power of a preposition. She'll do all of that, but she'll block your tail. She will do it. I see that mod love, Shelly Thunder. I see that mod love, Stacy 546. I see that mod love, Rebel. I see that mod love, Michelle Browno. She will block your tail. Please believe it. She will not play with you. She said, listen, this is a word to the wise, and it's sufficient. Try Jesus. Don't try us, because she sure will. She sure will block your tail. Please believe it. Then we're led by the leader of the pack, none other than the Rebel Inc. herself. Yes, I'm trying to tell you all. She's my ace boon coon. She's my day one. She's my always there, and she's my left hand. Because listen, I'm left-handed. Yes, she's my left arm and my left hand. She's all of that and a bag of tricks because she is my friend forever. Now listen, if you're not following the Rebel Inc., she is a streamer. Quit your ways. Quit them. Because I'm telling you, she's going to bless your whole life. I promise you she will. She had a powerful stream once more and again, as she always does, on yesterday. And I appreciate her for all that she does out here in these here Twitch streets. Now, I also want to stop for station identification because she and I both are upgrading and moving folks over to YouTube. So, Rebel, if you would please put your YouTube channel in there. I'm going to ask everybody that can and will, please go out there and follow Rebel in YouTube. She's making some transitions, y'all. If you'd be so kind to do that for us, just go right out there when that link jumps up in the stream. Please go out there and follow her in YouTube. She will bless your whole entire life. Now, then we have the Quiet Storm. Yes, the Quiet Storm, otherwise known as Michelle Brownell, and she's my angel. Yes, the Quiet Storm, Michelle Brownell, is our angel. She changes the atmosphere just by being in it. Honey, that beautiful sister got up yesterday, prepped herself, got gorgeous, and laid right back down in the bed. That's the way she did it. Honey, just as beautiful for as ever, but just please be it understood. Honey, these beautiful women right here, they gonna always bring it, baby. I don't care if you see them, if you don't see them, they walk in beauty like the night. That's what they do, and I love them. This is my blessed Trinity. y'all funny. Listen, at the end of the day, I appreciate these beautiful moderators, but I appreciate you too. To those of you that are not in my chat, but you're just auditing and bringing love to the stream, I want to say good morning to you and thank you. You are just as vitally important as anybody else here in this stream. Thank you for being here and thank you for listening. Stacy 546, I see you and good morning to you. The Rebel Inc., who is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your ways. Just quit them. Stacy 546, come on, I love me some you, and you know I do. Coming on down, and who else do I see? Listen, my eyes are playing tricks on me this morning, honey. These eyes, I'm trying to tell you, these eyes are playing games with me, but that's all right. There's another way. Honey, there's more than one way to skin a cat. More than one way to skin a cat. Let me find another screen over here that's a little more, I need it, magnified. Honey, that small print, they trying to play games with me with that small print. They trying to make me think I can't read, but honey, it ain't that I can't read. The saints can't see. Listen, but I'm going to get this thing together because I'm going to say good morning to y'all this morning. Kobe 2016, come on in here. Mad love to you. I'm so glad that you're in the channel this morning. And as I said, you have been a blessing here in the Lion's Den. BT Deep Mom and Anita Harvey are in the room. Good morning to you and nothing but mad love too. That's my biggest, big, beautiful sister. Come on in here, sis, and I love you. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking. And I'm seeing who else is in the Lion's Den this morning. And who do I see? MCPA12. That's my sister, cousin, pastor friend. Come on in here, sis. And nothing but mad love to you, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. Coming on down, and who else is in the stream this morning? Shelly Thunder. Oh, my goodness. Hey. There she is, y'all. I seen the lightning flash and I heard the thunder roll, and it was Shelly Thunder, and she is a moderator extraordinaire. Y'all better come on in here because these are some blessings in this house. And then who else do I have besides Shelly Thunder? But who else came in but Lord Jesus today? Who knows what's going to happen? Michelle Brownell, my angel, is in the room. And good morning to you, sis. Nothing but mad love. Come on in here because we doing this thing this morning. We absolutely positively are. Coming on down, and I want to make sure I don't want to miss anybody that's in the room, in the chat. I appreciate all of you for being here on this morning. Let me come over and check and see what we got going on over here in the Facebook section, because I want to appreciate those of you that might be there. Okay, I'm looking there, and sometimes my Facebook does not come up. So if you're there in Facebook and I'm missing you, just count that to my head and not my heart, because I do try to get everybody. Let me see. Sandra Bailey, good morning to you. Come on in here, and nothing but mad love to you. Thank you for joining us in the Lion's Den. And then I saw my Mufasa truck driver. He's in the room, y'all. He's in the room. Come on in here, Mufasa. That's my Lion King right there. And I love me some him. Come on. Don't you want to go? That's my brother. Tell 2 palms down and 10 toes up. And even after that, honey, we still in this thing together. Now, listen. It's time to go. I want to stop before I go further. Thank you to everybody that came in on yesterday. I was part of the Miracle Signs and Wonders Raid Train Part 4, sponsored by Dalen 628. Come on, to everybody that came in and supported on yesterday morning. And some of you didn't know that I was streaming yesterday morning, but I just want to say thank you. We came in talking about imagination, and I tell you what, it was an excellent stream. CJ Manning, good morning to you, and we've celebrated you for being the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair, but I'm going to give it to you one more time. John Studios. That's another angel, y'all. Listen. I think the two angels came together and had a very brief wedding, a very brief marriage. But John Studios. My other angel. Thank you for that resub. Listen, we're building something, John. We are building something over here, and I appreciate you for helping us build. John Studios is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following John Studios, quit doing ways. Just quit him. Because I promise you, he'll bless your whole entire life. That baby is a blessing. He is a blessing all out here on these internet streets, or as a rebel would say, on the interneticals. He's out here blessing everybody. I promise you, he is. He is just a blessing all the way around. I love me some you. Now, as I said, I was appreciating those of you who came on yesterday. We had a magnificent stream. It really was a magnificent stream on yesterday. And as I said, we talked on the imagination and letting that imagination flow. And I hope you all took that to heart. There were some that did not make it that asked to see it. So I will do a repost at some point in time. I'm going to repost that for those that were unable to be in the stream on yesterday. But listen, you're always welcome up in here, John, and we're going to give you all the shout outs that we can, and Rebel, and to Michelle, and to Shelly. Thank you for always taking care of our streamers and our viewers that come in. I appreciate all of you. Now, that being said, we're going to get ready, because whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, oh my, and God, I see Jabez. Listen, you try to make me get up and shout right now. Jabez is in the building. This right here, this fine, talented, gifted brother. Listen, let me tell you, he does it all. He'll dance, he'll write a song, he'll sing. He's got it all together, and I promise you, he's going to give you the best experience you've ever had. Good morning, Jabez. Nothing but mad love to you. And you are under an open heaven. Please believe it. Woo! I felt something right there. You know, I was at a musical on Sunday while we're talking, and I just want to kind of share this. This week is going to be a turning point for many of us. This week is going to be a turning point. And I just want to speak that into the atmosphere. There's a change. Yes. Listen, Rebel got to prophesying over in her stream yesterday morning. There is a change for those of us that would dare to get out the boat and just start moving in whatever God has called you to do, whatever your imagination, whatever your dreams are, whatever, just move towards it. And even as was said on yesterday, it's not even about the fear, but listen, I'm going to say, even if you're scared, go anyway. Even if you're afraid, go anywhere. Anyway, be sensitive to, and as I said on yesterday morning, imagination is that element of God. That is your God element. When God thought of a thing, and we always say, let there be light, but we want to stress the fact that he had to imagine it before he could create it. He had to see it in his mind before he spoke it forth for it to be. And that's the same image of God that you're created in. You can see it in your mind, and you can speak it forth, and it shall be. So just speaking that to so many on this week that can embrace that word there, the change, the transition, get ready for it, because this is going to start to manifest, not just a matter of just speaking it. Even as I said on yesterday, and I'm just can I just give a real quick recap in 60 seconds or less? You got to imagine it. You got to see it before you can see it. Come on, the gift, Nathan Lamont. Come on in here. That's my praising, baby. I just need one good squall. You got to see it before you can see it. See it in your imagination, then speak it. And then we begin to talk about writing the vision, make it plain so that it's clear in your mind what it is and how you're going to get there. And then visualize it. Visualization from two elements, whether you visualize it where you've already had the experience and you keep practicing that thing over and over again in your mind, or whether you're visualizing what you've never seen and never experienced, but you begin to put yourself in the energy. You begin to put yourself in that frequency that has the ability to embrace and see yourself as that winner that you are. And that visualization begins to set you up for things that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. It hasn't even entered into your heart, the good things that God has for you. Lex Diamonds, come on in here. Nothing but mad love to you. You're in the right place at the right time. I appreciate your support. Mad love to you always and forever. Now, and then after you visualized it, then I want you to go out there and do a thing. And listen, make sure that what you have imagined, do not imagine a vain thing. Do not imagine something that's empty. Do not imagine something where you see yourself unprofitable and not being successful in your dream and your vision that your imagination has thought. But because God gave you that imagination, then you got to manifest. You right on with it, Nathan Lamont. You were there. You got to manifest. When all is said and done, comes the time for manifestation. That's the way we're doing it. And that's how we're being the change, even in the lion's den. We're not trying to have conversations and cliches and just the same soup warmed over with no success, with no manifestation, but we're here to manifest the thing. So I want you all to jump on out there. And when I tell you, the Rebel Inc. took that thing and took it to a whole nother level in her stream on yesterday and started prophesying to the people. I said, that's the way we do it over here. Come on, Lex Diamonds. I looked up and saw that. I got stopped dead in my tracks. Listen. Listen, that's the way we do it over here. We manifest, and I appreciate the fact that we are the change that we want to see. Now, I'm going to start with this morning. There are some things that our Michelle Brown, Mother started prophesying on the house, and I said, now there you have it. Y'all got the righteous and the ratchet, but y'all got the prophetic as well on yesterday, because Mother took that thing and she worked it and began to prophesy to the people. That's the way we flow in the Lion's Den. That's the way we flow in Rebel's House, and to the other streamers that are out here and moving forward to make a change. This is the time and this is the day. I'm going to start with news from viewers. I did not show everything that was out there on last week. I'm going to go ahead and pick those up this morning before I move forward in the stream. As I told you, we're going to be talking about some areas of self-care. We're going to be talking about, I've got some heavier things, news that is current as of these last couple of days that I definitely want to address and dig a little deeper and pay a little attention to what's going on. But I want to start here with news from viewers, because I always appreciate those viewers that put information in that channel for us to share with the rest of the stream. So this one, I want to just roll this beautiful bean footage, and here we go.
Yet with Jennifer Gardner and Regina King from 2017 on Chelsea Handler's little Netflix special. Well, if you haven't seen it, here it is.
Let's talk about our families maybe first, where we came from, where our parents came from. Why don't you start, Regina?
I grew up here in LA, born and bred, one of the few people that are born and bred in LA. So that's, I think, a very cool thing, and I kind of wear it on my chest very proudly, because so many people say, oh, LA is this and LA is that. And I'm like, well, no, you're not from LA, so you don't really know it.
But do you know where your ancestors are from?
Well, yeah, we're part of the Triangle Slave Trade. And from Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Senegal. But my parents are both from the South, met each other here. To this day, I'm totally grateful my mom left. My mom was the one that was like, I am fucking out of this bitch, and I'm going to see what else is out there, and she came to LA.
And we can all agree that was some bullshit, but I want you all to watch this as well.
To speak about it, because we haven't. People are in denial at how prevalent this was, and I think to even say that this was breeding is an important statement to make.
Yes.
Because the construct of race made black women's children innately enslavable, enslavers were assured a profit with every birth. And that assurance became even more important in 1808, after Congress banned the importation of Africans to the United States. With the supply of newly enslaved people from Africa cut off, enslavers had to rely on a single source to replenish their essential labor force, the wombs of black women. The numbers are staggering. In 1790, the first United States Census counted just under 700,000 enslaved people. By 1860, despite the congressional ban that had been in place for more than half a century, the enslaved population had blossomed to nearly 4 million. And the rape of black women by white men played a significant role in that increase. Rape was so prevalent during slavery that today, a quarter of the genetic makeup of black Americans can be traced back to Europe through the paternal line.
This is why I like telling white people that I'm more American than them. Because of chattel slavery and because of this excruciating, treacherous, terrorizing history, many black people in this country are more American than the white Americans that think that they're the top of the top American. My people are from here. Montezuma, Georgia, to be exact, at least on my mother's side. Black Americans in this country have a very unique history because of chattel slavery, which if you were an enslaved woman, your children, they're slaves. Your children's children, slaves. And your children's children, slaves. And they did that on purpose because they outlawed the importation of slaves from Africa, but they still needed black people to do their work. But when white people are like, I'm 1/4 black, that's cool, because I'm 1/4 white. Slave owners were so treacherous with, and that every black person in this country has European ancestry. So when you're asking black people where your ancestors from, here, baby, they're from here. They stopped allowing Africans to be imported into America. And I've been here since. My people have been here since. Don't fucking play with us. Stop asking that dumbass question.
And there you have it. I appreciate. Come on. Now, I think a lot of times, Anna Joe Jones, come on in here. Good morning to you. It's good to see you. Vengeful Turkey, come on in here. Good morning to you. Shelly Thunder, that's it. That's all. Now, a lot of people called the sister for filth for asking her, Regina, but do you know where you're from? And what are you driving at here? What are you driving? Of course, Regina had the great answer that she gave proudly with no level of biting her tongue or intimidation or anything else. And the question begs to be answered. Why would she ask her that question? But obviously, when you don't have knowledge of Black history, whether she was doing it for some derogatory or some negative energy engaged in that. Nonetheless, as this sister broke it down, the reality that by the time there had been the outlawing of bringing Africans to the Americas and the number of the census of that time, obviously to address the fact that Black women's bodies and Black women's wombs were the means by which they were able to keep multiplying, even though they were no longer shipping them in, they were raping them in and breeding them in. A lot of individuals do not have that information. Good morning, DJ D-Man is in the background. Good morning to you. Now listen, DJ D-Man, I call him my hero. Listen, y'all get ready in October because I think that's when my brother's going to be streaming and doing his good work. But DJ D-Man is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following DJ D-Man, quit your ways. Just quit them. Because I promise you, DJ D-Man's going to bless your whole entire life. I appreciate my sis for putting this in for us to observe on today. Now, I want to give her props. That was by My Lock Journey. My Lock Journey put that in for us. You know how we do it over here. This is the Lion's Den. I have certain things that I'm actually very committed to doing. I want to be able to empower the Black community. I want to be able to give the Black historical perspective from a spiritual perspective as well. But I want us to be able to be educated and know our history and know from whence we've come, know what we've come through, and know where we're going, all with the power and with the ingenuity that we've always possessed. We're just saying, okay, let's come together. Definitely one of the main themes of this channel is to bring unity in the Black community and all communities as far as that's concerned. But I always like to make this point of clarification. Everybody is welcome to this channel. Everybody is welcome to engage in this channel. But for the house that's on fire, my Black community's house, which is on fire, which we did not set on fire, I am here to put the fire out in our house first, and then I'll go and attend to any other fires that I can help put out. But this is the fire I'm putting out in the Black community. And anybody, doesn't matter race, creed, color, religion, it does not matter, from anybody that wants to pick up an extinguisher, pick up a bucket, pick up a hose, you're welcome to do so to help us put the fire out in this community. But it's definitely our intent to put the fire out and to rebuild stronger than we were before. So that is what we are intentional about in this channel. They asked us to introduce ourselves by talking about purchasing family heritage and what their occupation was 200 years ago. Come on here, Michelle Brownell, in a corporate meeting. And you read that whole room. I love it, Michelle. I love it. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And you asked for it, you got it, Toyota. So there you go. The question, where are you from, is so centered in white supremacy because of chattel slavery. Come on here, Jabez, and you listen, and you better talk to me up in here. Deliberate erasure and forced birthing of historical genealogy. You better talk your talk and walk your walk in here, because everything you said, where's the lie though? It's only 3 blacks that worked there, Michelle Brown, and they wanted to pull that stunt. This is the thing I want us to be aware of. They come from every angle, at every angle, and you got to be ready and you got to be prepared. Sometimes if you don't know and if you don't have that historical perspective under your belt, it can be uncomfortable. But when you know that you know what you know, maybe you can speak boldly and read the room as Michelle did. And Michelle, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall, because I know you did. Even slavers would deny their own children in the horrible condition of slavery. And you are absolutely and positively correct, Jabez. At that point, when you start talking about chattel, listen, the only thing they see, that ain't what I was trying to hit. That ain't what I was trying to hit. I aimed too low, y'all. I aimed too low. The only thing they were concerned about was hearing that coin drop in that bank account. That's the only thing they were worried about. And those children that they were raping and breeding meant nothing more to them than a coin. And there you have it. And that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. So I appreciate you so much, My Lock Journey, for putting that in whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered over there in the News from Views. Then Dr. Dady Priest said she wanted to give us a little chuckle. Well, I see Georgia finally gave you that number that you were trying to get. Well, Dr. Dady, thank you for the humor. He got that 11. I only need 11,780 votes. Oh, well, y'all, you know, for those that are offended, I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry. Now, listen, then we gonna come on, and Dr. Dady gave us some more news for viewers here, and I want to stop right here and get this in this morning. Here we go, and enjoy. Stacy 546, that's all I'm saying, Rebel. That's all I'm saying, Michelle, honey. There you have it. You got your number. Enjoy it. Now, Dr. Dady also brought this to us. Here we go.
Trump. You want to know why I'm here to support President Trump? Because they done did black men like this for decades. Make up charges and put them, so I know Trump is innocent. I support Trump against this corrupt, two-tiered justice system. That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump. And I'm wearing my shirt, Niggas for Trump 2024, and I mean that.
What do you think about the indictment?
Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's going around the country. You know, Fannie Willis, she went to school with my sister. She's full of shit. She was full of shit then. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do. That's what I think about her, making a fool of herself.
Do you think it's going to help his election?
Of course it is. It's going to elevate him all the way. I think we should make Trump king. That's how I feel. We should make him king.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like communistic?
No, that's nowhere near communist. Now we just gonna make him king, but we still got our freedoms and rights and everything. He for that. Yeah, Trump for king 2024.
That's actually my URL. I own that URL.
You own that URL?
I can't get your name.
Really? Oh, my name is Niggas for Trump 2024.
I can't
Derek Gibson,
That's my nigga.
former candidate. I'm a former candidate for New York State Governor. Derek Gibson, look me up. Nigga, I'm there.
Dr. Dady Priest is in the room. The high priestess is here right on cue. Because listen, I just played that video that you put in there. And yes, John, what in the whole entire world? And he talking about Fannie is making a fool of herself. There's always one cheering. There's always one. BTD mom, ain't that just the but in reality, I don't know where they are digging these folks up from, but they are finding these jokers out here somewhere. And I just look at him and I'm like, y'all, he's an idiot. Rebel, he's an idiot. Now this from Truck Driver. Let's go. Good morning, Crazy Berrytown. Listen, Crazy Berrytown. What did you just watch? You watch some foolishness. And listen, you don't have to cover your lips. Let the words out, sis. Let the words out. That's enough to make you cuss. I'm trying to tell you. Z-Lady C, come on in. You had to come out alert for that. Z-Lady C, good morning to you. Mad love. Crazy Berrytown is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Crazy Berrytown, if you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, quit chewing your eyes. Just quit them. Because I promise you, both of them are going to bless your whole entire life. Jabez, Uncle Ruckus. Absolutely and positively. Uncle Rufus Ruckus all day. Quit them. Crazy Berrytown, quit them. I'm trying to tell you, what we just watched, believe me, there are some foolish people out here. And I'm not saying that, I don't need to go any further because y'all understand. Z-Lady C, you know I love me some you. Come on in here, sis. And thank you for coming out alert just to, I know, that one right there was just almost more than you can bear. Now, listen. At the end of the day, they're out there, y'all. They're out there. So just get yourself ready for the foolishness. And you ain't seen nothing yet because we're just now moving and swinging into the election season. So who knows what all we gonna see before this night is over. They gonna clown. This is from Truck Driver. Let's let it roll. Come on, y'all. That's Crazy Berrytown. You bet. Look at them swivel hips. Look at them swivel. You bet. And Captain Boots, y'all better work your jelly. You better work your jelly. That's the way they do it over there in Crazy Berrytown, in Berrytown. And then if y'all didn't see Engagement Matters earlier with Dr. Dady Priest, love both of these beautiful ladies. Love them to absolute life. I do. Now, Truck Driver, here we go. Let me get some volume for y'all. All right, here we go. My apologies. Here we go.
Listen to this.
Born and raised in Lahaina, has been working tirelessly over the past few days to raise money and resources for those who lost their homes. I wanted to bring her on the broadcast tonight because I want to give our viewers across America a sense of what people are dealing with on this island.
You're not going to believe this.
We're approaching you. You have. I want to ask you because I couldn't believe this. Realtors, people in the real estate industry, are calling your family and your friends who have lost everything to buy their plots of land.
It is disgusting. We have real estate investors and speculators going around calling our victims, offering to give them cash and buy their property. It is disgusting. It's a land grab, and I know that our Lahaina community, we are resilient, and we will do whatever it takes to protect Lahaina.
Unbelievable. Now they're going to try to buy the land out from under these people and displace them. What's wrong with these people in the world?
Now, I'm going to say, at the end of the day, this is just absolutely positively egregious. It's no different than what we saw happen after Hurricane Katrina. I'm going to encourage once more and again, anyone that did not go out there and watch when the levees broke. Spike Lee's When the Levees Broke. I want us to understand that these natural disasters that people are still questioning, because some people said that they saw something that looked like some kind of a land strike that started the fire, like there was some sort of incendiary device that was launched or that was dropped in an area that actually ground zero where the fire started. Now, I'm just saying what was reported to me. It was reported to me. I can't say there were various images you couldn't really see. However, there are those allegations being made by natives from the island that said it was not a natural disaster. It was not a natural situation that started that fire, that it was actually instigated by someone that launched some sort of incendiary device. So, anytime there's a catastrophe, there's going to always be the conspiracy ideas and concepts. And I'm not saying that it's a lie, because just like we saw with Hurricane Katrina, there were numbers of people on top of people that said and swore and declared they heard the blast that blew up the levees, and that the levees did not break, but that the levees were actually blasted. Now, at the end of the day, whether it's from natural disaster or not, this is what I want us to be aware of. And at the bottom of it all, this land grab that they're describing here for the speculators, the land speculators that are coming in, and these people are trying to figure out how they're going to live, how they're going to survive, how they're going to rebuild, how they're going to do all of these things to live. Now, let's come here, because we took Hawaii from the Hawaiians to begin with. let's call a spade a spade. This sense of America, the United States ability to go see a land, see a property, see an area that has so much promise for, what did I say? Cha-ching. When you see opportunity for cha-ching, you just take it over. Not as if the Hawaiian Islands didn't already have their own leadership. They didn't have their own form of government, their own means of systematically living and surviving as the islands grouped together. But we saw something that we could see profit in, and we just took it over, as we did many of the other islands that we have now incorporated into the United States of America, but treat them like third world countries. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. So at the end of the day, this beautiful, beautiful blossoming land that we've been participating in, and there are now. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. Let me read what Jabez said before I say this, because I might make some folks mad. Indigenous people have taught us that you cannot own the land. Ownership implies dominion, and that's not for man. What man owns, man destroys. Come on, real estate is fake estate. You better talk, Jabez. I appreciate it. And anybody doesn't know, Jabez is an activist. He absolutely positively is an activist in the truest sense of the word. He's a young man out there fighting and coming and showing up in activism on all fronts. And so I appreciate you for your input. And he's a very learned and educated young man. He's not speaking out of outside of his neck. He is studied in the areas that he talks about. And you're exactly right. Indigenous people did not believe in owning the land. So I appreciate you for that and that input. Now, this is what I want to say. I want to say that there is that within this capitalistic system, and at some point we're going to come back and talk about capitalism, and I know how we have been indoctrinated, especially in civics. The capitalistic state is the state to live in, but at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge that there's so much bondage, so much racism, and so much inequity that follows in the bondage of capitalism that we really need to have a conversation around that. And why is it that we call the great experiment of democracy and the great experiment of capitalism and all of this other? Why is it that we continue and feel compelled to continue this when it is so oppressive to so many people? Now, I'm going to look and I'm going to say, at the end of the day, and I love my country, for everybody that wants to come for me and come at me, I love my country. At the end of the day, we need to look at some things and reevaluate what needs to be adjusted. Stacy 546, white people love to find land that's already occupied. They love to find land that's already occupied and plant their flag in it and declare that they discovered it. And you are telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Now, I'm going to just say what the Islanders are saying, because the area where all this land grab is taking place, I'm going to just call a spade a spade. Oprah's name is in the mix. For anybody that's been following this story, Oprah's name is in the mix as they begin to name off all the different ones that have come over and established and set up their own playground and staked all of this land claim. And then there is that conversation that some are having that as early back as January, February, there was this talk of redevelopment of this whole particular strip of land and that they're going to redevelop it in a whole nother way. And then again, now we have out of the blue, whether it was lightning or whether it was an incendiary device, only God knows the truth probably at this point. And so we have both of those on the table. But the point being made by the Islanders, it's mighty suspicious that after declaring that they're going to make this transition of their land, of their island, to this new way, new mode of operation, new, that all of a sudden a lightning bolt came out of the sky and started a fire that burnt up everything on that island. So the island is saying, no, ma'am, no, sir. And as the woman said there, now you have all these land speculators that are coming out of the woodwork while these people are in their distress trying to grab up this land. So, you know, and I'm gonna go back to Katrina. Most of the black owners of land in New Orleans did not get their land back. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Most of the black landowners that survived Katrina and the breaking or the blowing up of the levees, whichever way you want to look at it, did not get their land back. So we have to look at these transitions of ownership from one group to another group. And I think we need to we do need to ask some questions. I don't think we should just take whatever folks are saying hook, line, and sinker, because it is mighty suspicious that after having met with these individuals, that mysteriously this catastrophic event happens that now clears the way and the path for them to do what they wanted to do at the beginning of the year anyway. It's fishy. It's fishy. It has a little odor to it. It has a little odor to it, like it could be a little fishy. Jabez, please Google and discover the land back movement. Come on. Keep on dropping knowledge in here, Jabez. For those that want to be educated and know, please go out there and check that out. Truck driver, thank you for that. And I'm going to show another one from Truck. Truck sends the stuff in here for me. And I appreciate him. I absolutely positively do. I'm going to roll this other beautiful bean footage and let's look at what we have here and let's roll.
Expose everything that does not make sense with these Maui wildfires. First of all, we have houses absolutely incinerated. We have cars melted into the ground, yet green still on the trees. Here's the aftermath of a real forest fire. As you can see, there's no green on the trees. This is just common sense. For something to be hot enough to melt cars into the ground but leave the green still in the trees is much different than a forest fire. This is a direct energy weapon assault. This is why these videos are circulating on the internet. Mountain Dew, DEW, directed energy weapons. Maui burst. What a coincidence. Why was it that the water was turned off and the fire hydrants were dry? All the fire marshals were out of town that night conveniently. The mayor and the governor were out of town that night as well. They wouldn't let people evacuate. The siren systems didn't sound at all. A perfect circle of fire around Lahaina. Molten metal next to intact trees. There was insurance policies taken out of Lahaina right before the fire. The fires happened in the most prestigious and most expensive places in Maui. The governor passed a bill about a month ago saying this land can be forfeited if we need to rezone. This one's real good. Lady Gaga, Bill Gates, Morgan Freeman, Will Smith, Julia Roberts all had mansions in Maui that weren't touched conveniently. They passed a new law that doesn't allow development on Hawaiian land unless it's a natural disaster. Insurance companies are refusing to pay their policies for some loopholes. So now these rich billionaires that want to come in and build these smart cities can get these properties for next to nothing. The military turned away citizens trying to bring in supplies for the victim. This was all one big setup, a directed energy weapon assault on the people. We really need to wake up before it's too late, guys. Peace and love. Okay, we are about to expose everything that does not make sense with these.
That right there. I'll let you do your own investigation and your own checking out. But there are a lot of people that are saying and crying foul. That's all I can say on that. So at the end of the day, you heard that there was some controversy about the fire. Oh, Psychor Fit, come on in here. Good morning. Psychor Fit is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Psychor Fit, quit your ways. Just quit them. Because at the end of the day, she's going to bless your whole life. I promise you she will. And good morning to you. Nothing but mad love. Come on in here, Virtual Mix. Good morning to you. And I appreciate you for being in here. Mad love to you. Come through, come through, come through. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And no, it's not just one ethnic group. You are absolutely correct about that. So at the end of the day, I think that we have to look at the haves and the have-nots and how interesting it is how stuff comes about out here in these here streets. Now, I'm going to play this because Dr. Dady put it in. And listen, at the good morning, SB 1987. Good morning to you. Come on in here. Mad love to you. I appreciate you. Listen, SB 1987 is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following SB 1987, quit your ways. Just quit him. He's going to bless your whole life. Nothing but mad love to you, my brother. Come on in here. All I had to do was see the face on this one, and here we go. Let me get the volume going. Let me get the volume going. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now,
of teaching math, of teaching reading, writing, and American history. And we cannot perpetuate a lie to our students and push this propaganda leftist agenda, teaching our kids to hate America and hate one another.
All right, let's talk about it. And I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but I don't believe anybody loves this country more than black people. There is a quote that goes, all gave some and some gave all in regards to military service. Can't even try to tell me that those words do not move in simpatico with black folk in America. This is a game Republicans love to play where no one wins. America is allowed to benefit off of the war on black Americans, just don't talk about it. Doesn't matter how many bodies pile up as long as that cash stacks too. That's just between us. Republicans want America divided, and they would love for their children to hate your children based off of nothing else but their corrupt moral compass. Education and compassion have left the building. About this, don't tell me your Bible is true, but black history isn't. Trust in the fact that you cannot have American history without African American history because they mean the same damn thing, and you cannot have one without the other. It's not indoctrination, it's education. It's not woke to teach kids today what Grammy and Grampy was really all about back in the day. I'm a simple country boy, but it's not lost on me that this country wants to take anything and everything they can from black people. My lesson in it is this. Amanda Seales says you cannot enjoy the rhythm and ignore the blues. And if that goes over your head, it's not America that failed you. It's you that failed America.
We've got to get back to the basics of teaching.
And he said what he said. Now, I'm not going to approach this from any partisan angle. I just want to address what the general idea is. And y'all heard me say this the other day. So actually, and I want to read this statistic, 81% of Arkansas 8th graders are not proficient in math, and the state ranks 37th out of 50 for quality education. I don't think she's really the person to be having this conversation. Go fix your state and then come back. Now, at the end of the day, this is where I want to. In NOLA, the oil companies had gone in and bought the black homeowners property before Katrina and allowed them to continue living on the properties until they were displaced with no homes to return to. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here, Dr. Dady. You better talk the truth. Y'all know how we do it over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. Now, this is what I say, because we got to go back, as she said, to teaching American history. That is not American history. That is white American history. And even in that, we have twisted the narrative and turned it every which way, where so much of it is not the truth. So at the end of the day, this is what I say. And y'all can agree with me or not. If we're going to have this big argument about being woke, if we're going to have this big argument about teaching the totality of American history, which includes all of the negative things that, as he said, you don't want the kids to know what Grammy and Grampy were actually doing back then. And it might even been your mom and your dad. You don't want that to be told. Well, then at the end of the day, you teach what you going to teach your children at at home and we teach what we're going to teach and tell the truth to our children and just take history out of the school system, period. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. If we're going to continue, because I showed y'all that cartoon that is currently circulating in Florida, that is a whole lie. And I mean, I ain't even going to beat around the bush. That video that I showed you all the other day was a complete fabrication.
Why you always lying?
And the audacity to have it narrated allegedly by a character that looked like Frederick Douglass. That was just the ultimate insult of all insults. If that's what you're going to do, and if that's what you're going to devolve to and then teach that in schools as truth, just don't teach anything. Don't teach my child nothing. Don't bring nothing in, and let's not even talk about history. You talk about your history amongst children. Let me talk about our history amongst ours and just take it out of the schools altogether. I'm a complete advocate for that. If you're not going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, just leave it alone. Just because at the end of the day, if 81% of your children are not proficient in math, they do need reading, writing, and arithmetic. But listen, if you're going to come in and pervert the story of our history or only tell one side of the history, just don't tell any history at all. If you're not going to tell everybody's history, just don't tell any history at all. So that's the way I feel about it. You don't have to agree with me. We can walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye. But instead of having this ongoing, continuous argument that then allows these lies to be, just straight up fabricated lies to be told in the school system in place of telling the truth, then just don't say nothing at all. Just don't say anything at all. Don't tell my child anything at all. And I'm going to give it to you, Dr. Dady. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, at the end of the day, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And that being said, I want to go back and catch what Jabez said. There is popular trope in science fiction. The easiest way to control and enslave is to wipe memory. Now, you listen, you better talk up in here. You better talk up in here. The easiest way to control and enslave is to wipe the memory. From Black Panther to Star Trek, without knowing your history, you are malleable to lies. So come on. One reason the Bishop of Twitch is in here. Listen, if you're not following one reason, I want you all to quit your wicked ways. Just quit him, because he's going to bless your whole life. And I love you, my brother. Come on in here. Now, I do want to say this even to the point, Jabez. Do y'all remember in ancient history, one of the first things that they would do when they conquered a country, they would go in and deface their artifacts, and they would also destroy any signs of their history. They would go in and deface their artifacts, and they would go in and try to destroy any of their historical artifacts and or written knowledge. There's always been an attack on Flirt 1991, 92. Come on in here. So much mad love to you. KB Brown's my brother from another mother. Come on in here, and good morning to you. And anybody else that I may have missed, my apologies. I'm in here chit-chatting. Now, that was one of the first things they would do in. If you go in and look at even the Sphinx, go in and look at different areas of the pyramids and things like that. And what do you see after they changed their names? Come on and talk to me, Virtual Mix. And change their names, because you're trying to erase memory. And what is the importance of memory? If I know who I am, if I know where I've come from, if I know my history, my pride is still going to be intact no matter what you try. Listen, let's go back to roots. Behold, the only thing greater than thyself. Thou art the son of so-and-so, of so-and-so and so-and-so, and of so-and-so who did such and such. that whole element of the verbal narrative where they actually went back and deposited that concept of pride and history. The first thing you see when someone wants to conquer is to take that out. But at the end of the day, like Dr. Dady said, it ain't nothing but the devil. And that being said, I'm going to give this to the Rebel Inc. because listen, the devil tried to kill her in her sleep last night. She said the devil had her in a chokehold and she needed to hear the devil song this morning. So Rebel Inc., here it is.
The title of this song that they're going to sing for you is The Devil's in the Phone Booth dialing 911. Come up here, ladies, and bless these people.
Well, the devil's in the phone booth dialing 911. Well, the church is on their knees and they're loading up the spiritual gun. Well, the devil thought he had us, but the tables are turned, and now he's on the run. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. My whole life has changed since the Lord saved me. I proclaim the mighty name of Jesus Christ to everyone that I see. You know the keys to the kingdom are the secret to success, to lose the Holy Ghost and the Son. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911.
In my life journey, you came right on time. Y'all in this song, I just know, I'm telling y'all are too much. Nonetheless, y'all love it. Rebel hates the song, but the devil must have really been on her for her to come in this morning. That's the first request I got out of her this morning, was that she needed to hear the devil song. Y'all too much. At the end of the day, I love y'all. I really do. I want to get back to this whole idea, however, of taking away a person's history and leaving them groping for knowledge about who they are, what they are, and where they've come from, right down to the changing of the people's name. Is your name Kobe, Toby, or is your name Kunta Kinte? Disco Darren is in the room. Disco Darren is a streamer, y'all, and he's my brother. If you're not following Disco Darren 1966, quit your ways, quit him. Because listen, I'm telling you, he's going to be a whole blessing. And I'm telling you, I want y'all to join me. I will be heading up to Beauty Shop in the month of October over there in Disco Darren's channel. I got some sisters that are going to be there with me. I might even bring some brothers with me too. We're going to talk and we're going to tackle some things in the barbershop, in the beauty shop. And I appreciate you, Disco Darren, for the opportunity. Yes, that's going to be in October. So y'all hang on to your wig and hang on to your weave because we're going to bring it over to the beauty shop. Now, Psychor Fit, take away the culture and look. I got you. Retta, it's Mo Better with Retta. Retta Divine is in the room, y'all, and she's a streamer. If you're not watching and following Retta Divine, quit your ways. Just quit them because she's going to bless you. I promise you she will. Coming on down, and good morning to you, Retta. Appreciate you. Jabez says the Sphinx's nose was black. He said it's speculative. However, he stands by it. They couldn't take it. Jabez, they couldn't take it. Oh my God, today. BTD mom came out and lurked. She hates that song. She absolutely does. Y'all are too much. Now, My Lock Journey came in the room. My Lock, we played your video earlier. And listen, My Lock Journey, I call her the Lock Whisperer. She is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following My Lock Journey, quit your wicked ways. Quit them. Because listen, I'm trying to tell you, she's going to bless your whole entire life. Come on, Dr. Dady, you're so kind. Thank you for that. Listen, a girl is trying. A girl is trying. My Lock Journey right there, she's a whole vibe and a whole blessing. Please follow her. She will bless you. Now, we're still wrapping up the last of news from viewers, and I appreciate all the viewers that put something in here. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Now, let's go here. Okay, I got her. Listen, oh my God. Every time I see her face, it just does something to me. It really, really does. Now, Dr. Dady put another clip in here. We're going to watch it. Hold on. Slow down. Slow your roll. I want to share this with you, and to all of those that share news from viewers. Anybody is welcome to put news from viewers in. I have several of you that are very consistent with providing clips, and I appreciate you. Dr. Dady, here we go.
A negative times a negative is a how do you know? Two ugly people make a pretty baby. Two ugly people make a pretty baby. All right, and a negative times a positive is a what? Yeah.
She said two ugly people make a pretty baby. And this is what I will say. I promise you, these children will not forget this. They will not forget. They will not forget. This is going to be forever etched on their mind and their memories. I'm sorry, I had to stop. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Let me turn my mic off. I'm going to turn my mic completely off. Here we go.
A negative times a negative is a how do you know? Two ugly people make a pretty baby. Two ugly people make a pretty baby. All right, and a negative times a positive is a what? Negative. It's a negative. Why? She'll tend with her breath stink. She'll tend with her breath stink. What does that mean? We have to do it. Pick a struggle. All right, at the end of the day, there's something that I can't fix. There's nothing that I can change, right? Yeah. So it's still going to be negative. And a positive times a positive is a what? Positive. A positive times a positive is a positive. Do all these work for division? Yes. Yes. Understood? Yes. Got it. All right, pack it up. Let's go. A negative.
Did she teach the children or what? I promise you, they will never forget. They will never forget. Please believe it. They're not going to forget it, babies. She broke that thing down. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And the best way to get those babies to remember is to put something in their heads that they can relate to. So at the end of the day, they got that. They got it. They got it. Now, let me hold this up, and here we go. This, I believe, is... okay. I want to say who put this in here. This is from K2 Hoop. K2 Hoop is another one of my young activists. I appreciate you, K2 Hoop. You always are bringing it. I'm going to read this to you. Here we go. We still don't have baby Uriah. Baby is still being held against our will at the Park Ridge Medical Center. His mother is devastated, and they don't have any excuse for the way they went about handling Uriah's remains, other than that they don't know their job or policies and procedures at this point. I don't trust them. And if any remains are released to us, we want proof that that baby is ours. I ain't gonna let up. I ain't gonna shut up. Somebody go tell Mr. Wow. Her daughter had a baby. He was born early and sadly passed away. When the funeral home came to pick up his remains, his grandma said he wasn't there. Just wow. Now, you know what? I don't even know what to say to that. I cannot imagine that's just unbelievable. Yeah, my life journey. When the funeral home came to pick up the baby wasn't there. And they still don't have their baby. That's insanity. That's some insanity right there. And that is from the hospital. I do know of another situation where the individual was supposed to get the mother's remains, and when they got there, the remains were already gone. So, wow, and wow. Is this what we're dealing with in our society at this point? I don't know. Well, obviously, I'm not challenging the truth of the story. It's just, I'm telling you, that's some crazy stuff. That's some crazy, crazy stuff. I'm going to show this before I make this next transition, because I got a feeling when we make this next turn, it might be a little hot. It might be a little heated. So this, I love Snoop Dogg put this out a few days ago, and we're going to stop here. And they said this is members of Congress, and some of you may have already seen this, but this is so true. This ain't, where's the lie though? Where's the lie? These are the members of Congress right now. Oh my God. Listen, I had to get a little levity in here. Cause Kim Blue, see Lady C, I'm telling y'all, my life. Propped, my life journey, propped. Ooh, that's about what they look. It's perfect, my luck journey. It's perfect. And unfortunately, he ain't lying. Snoop Dogg told the truth on this one, y'all. He did not. Where's the lie, though? Where's the lie? He didn't lie on that, honey. He told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now, this story right here, we're gonna delve into this a little bit. Some of you have seen it potentially. Some of you maybe not. I'm gonna go ahead and come out. I'm gonna go ahead and come on out because I got a feeling that this foolishness right here. I appreciate my sister for standing her ground, and here she goes. Let me make sure I got some volume on it. Yes, we good. Okay. Here we go.
Pertaining to the 6-year-old girl was provided to my office this morning, and the charges were dropped this morning. At this point, we have not received a case number for the other child, but when we do and a case number is assigned, it too will be immediately dismissed. While I am extremely sensitive to the concerns of those who are identified as victims, and my office has reached out to speak to them, I refuse to knowingly play any role in the school-to-prison pipeline at any age. These very young children are to be protected, nurtured, and disciplined in a manner that does not rely on the criminal justice system to do it. Systems are not designed to raise our children, people are. When we rely on the criminal justice system to raise children, let us not be shocked at the pain in the communities, the mental health crisis, and the inarticulable dysfunction that is so pervasive within the system and elsewhere. We must raise the expectations of how we respond in difficult situations. This is not a reflection of the children, but more of a reflection of a broken system that is in need of reform. It is case number pertaining to...
Okay, I'm going to go back. Before I'm going to roll that again so you all can see it. I want to go back and address Jabez. If your senator cannot remember their name, they can't do their job. Diane and Mitch both need to be retired immediately, and I'm in 100% agreement with you on that. And it's my understanding that Diane's daughter is in charge of her and is actively taking charge of her business, and the $64,000 question begs to be answered. If you can't do your own personal business, how are you doing business for the country? That's it. That's all. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Had to touch on that, Jabez, before we go to this next one. Now, I'm gonna play this one more time, and this story right now is heated. It is heated. It is heated in Orlando, Florida. And this sister right here has basically said, I dismissed the first charges. When the next charges come through, I'm going to dismiss those two. Here we go. Once more and again.
The 6-year-old girl was provided to my office this morning, and the charges were dropped this morning. At this point, we have not received a case number for the other child, but when we do and a case number is assigned, it too will be immediately dismissed. While I am extremely sensitive to the concerns of those who are identified as victims, and my office has reached out to speak to them, I refuse to knowingly play any role in the school-to-prison pipeline at any age. These very young children are to be protected, nurtured, and disciplined in a manner that does not rely on the criminal justice system to do it. Systems are not designed to raise our children, people are. When we rely on the criminal justice system to raise children, let us not be shocked at the pain in the communities, the mental health crisis, and the inarticulable dysfunction that is so pervasive within the system and elsewhere. We must raise the expectations of how we respond in difficult situations. This is not a reflection of the children, but more of a reflection of a broken system that is in need of reform. It is case number pertaining to the 6-year-old girl.
Now, cheering. These are 6-year-olds. Both of them are 6-year-olds. When the classroom teacher and the resource officers. And I told you all, I'm opposed, and all the teachers in the room, all of the professors in the room, because we do have teachers and professors here, all of the administrators in the room, put a 1 in the chat, and we want to applaud you for your service in blessing and teaching and instructing our children. Y'all, now, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I mean it. When you cannot control little 6-year-old kids, I have to question, almost like the popo, they're always fearing for their lives. I feared for my life. I feared for my life. I shot them dead. I feared for my life. I just have to wonder if you're in the right calling. Is that your calling? Are you in the right environment? Because if you cannot have classroom management skills, I just don't even know what to say. And I know, as Disco Darren, I saw you say kids are unruly, but 6-year-old kids being arrested. And to my understanding, come on, Mylock Journey, come on, Crazy Berrytown at the college level, Dr. Dady Priest as an administrator, John Studios, come through. I didn't know that, John. Come on. To each of you, this is definitely from the Lion's Den for what you do with our youth. And I have to say, I, as contracted into school systems, have seen a lot, and I've seen a lot of people that don't look like us teaching our children who have absolutely no classroom management skills whatsoever. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Come on, Barbara Mankey. Come on in here. And I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but you are welcome here. And thank you for coming in the Lion's Den. I've seen a lot of situations where people had no classroom management skills. And at the end of the day, I had to question, I don't see a lot of teaching ability here, much less management skills. And the kids can get unruly. Now, I will say this, Disco Darren. In every classroom I have ever been in, have never had problem with students responding to me. Never. And I'm telling you, and it's not to say I haven't been challenged, but you got to know how to handle children. I've never had children go off the deep end. And number one, I'm going to nip it in the bud before you get there. I'm not going to humiliate you, and I'm not going to embarrass you, but I am going to deal with you. And there's a certain level of command of your classroom that you've got to have, or they're going to run over you. Even a good class with poor leadership and poor management from the instructor will end up being a very unruly class. I'm just saying, because once those kids realize they have the upper hand and you do not know how to handle them, they're going to try you for everything that you're worth. I mean, take you to the paint. Do you hear me? But at the end of the day, if you show mutual respect, and I have this conversation with them from the very beginning, we're going to operate in mutual respect. I'm not going to down you. You're not going to down me. We're not going to argue. We're not going to fight. We're not going to this, that, and the other. And done very tastefully and very tactfully, done in a palatable way. First and foremost, sometimes you need to go in and connect with the class. You cannot go in and try to start telling folks what to do. Respect is a two-way street, BTD mom. And I'm going to say this. She didn't put a 1 in the chat. She's not currently in the education field, but she had the most phenomenal early ed preschool program I have ever seen in my whole entire life. And the thing that she was able to do with those kids in the urban core was just absolutely astonishing and amazing. So much so that parents from the suburban areas were bringing their children to BTD Mom's facility for the education of their children. I'm telling you, it was awesome. But this whole idea that, can I say this? You cannot teach children that you do not love. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. This, to me, is some of what we need to address with the idea when we were so pushing for integration. I'm going to say it, and this is my honest belief, and y'all don't have to agree with me. Come on, Z Lady C. Coach the children at that age. They don't have these issues either. Come on, Z Lady C. Please talk to me. We really don't deal with some of the real issue. So at the end of the day, do people not understand the difference between crime and discomfort? How does any human want a 6-year-old to be labeled a criminal? Because what did Michael Jackson say? They don't really care about us. And I'm gonna go back to this with the concept of integration. And thank you, Z Lady C, for coaching our children. For everybody that's out there putting and encouraging and touching our young people, I want to applaud you and appreciate you, because that's huge. This is something we didn't think about when we pushed for integration. If people hate your children, how do you think they're going to teach them? I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Now, I'm all for integration. I'm all for the right to go wherever I want to go. That's what I'm for. The right to go and be educated wherever I want to go. But this is what I think we were not looking at while we pushed for let's go and integrate. How can people that hate your children teach your children? Did we stop and think about that? Or do we stop and think about that now? I think about my sister that had a son who was extremely tall. He was very big, but he was a gentle giant. You can't find a more beautiful young soul than her son. And he was going through a situation at the school where the teacher was out of order. And I'm not talking about, I don't come from a family where your children are out here doing inappropriate stuff and you aid and abet them in their negative behavior. No, ma'am, no, sir. You're going to get called on the carpet for that. However, some of y'all need to go in the classroom. Some of you need to go into schools and see how they're interacting with your children, because some of these teachers are inappropriate and out of order with your children. They're demeaning. They are insulting. They strive to embarrass. And I'm talking about these are grown adults in the classroom that should not be there. Then you have that ultimate failure teacher who has no clue, absolutely clueless how to manage this classroom. And then you got the rest of the students that can't learn because the teacher doesn't know how to manage the classroom. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Dr. Dady, I'm just talking in here. So you need to go into the classroom and see what's going on with your child and what's going on in the interaction between your child and even the instructor. And so what did my sister do? She removed her child from that environment, because I'm not going to subject my child to daily trauma at the hands of the instructor. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You are not going to traumatize my child daily with your foolishness. So this is where sad, same story, different day. Come on, pay Psychor Fit. So you fear for your 2-year-old nephew living in Arizona. He's going to be and already is bigger and taller than the kids his age. And John Studios, that was it in a nutshell, because my nephew is still to this day is extremely tall. But I'm telling you, he is a gentle giant. And at the end of the day, he is the epitome of respectful. So, and listen, y'all need to know your children and listen to your children too, because at the same time, if you know this is your child's character and nature, don't let anybody come in and label your child. Don't let anybody come in telling crazy stories that don't even match your child's behavior. Don't let somebody else take control and take charge of your child's destiny, because like this, and she is the attorney general for the state attorney general for Florida. She said, I will not be a part of the school to pipeline prison. I'm not going to, what do I want to say? Prison, school to prison pipeline. I refuse to be a part of that. I refuse to be a part of that. When you bring me the charges against the other 6-year-old child, I'm going to dismiss those too. Parents have the right to unscheduled visits to the classroom. Come on here, BTD mom. And I would do that. I didn't have children, but I birthed children, but I had children within my congregation whose parents worked, and to make ends meet, especially for many of the single mothers that were in my congregation, I would go to school on behalf of those parents that could not get off. And again, especially the single mother parents, I would go to the school and drop in. I sure did. Matter of fact, they had Parents as Teachers program. I participated in the schools where I had students in my congregation. I attended. I said, hey, you know, I am the pastor of this child's mother, and the mother, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to tell you what, the schools love to see me coming. Especially the Parents as Teachers program, because what did I do? It was nothing more than going in, and while they were doing something with one group, I may take another group and go on the other side of the room, open a book and read it. And that allowed for, y'all understand what I'm saying? Take an interest in these children. And even if you don't have any yourself, you can still stand up and advocate for somebody else's child. The school to prison pipeline. Thank you, Kim Blue. And that's exactly, I'm not going to be a party to that. And that's basically what she said. Now let's get back to the actual story and let's deal with that. We have to understand it was whatever it was. They won't say what the issue was. Come on, Crystal, Virtual Mix. I am a parent. Because these babies are mine and they belong to me. I take ownership of them. They're not just members of my congregation. These are my children, and I'm going to go in there and see about my children. So at the end of the day, I look and I say, when we deal with 6-year-olds, that all they would say was that it was a misdemeanor offense. It was a misdemeanor offense. And this joker arrested 6-year-olds. Six-year-old children. No, the police have stopped him several times, Disco Darren. I just looked up and saw what you said. As a grown man, matter of fact, I drove up one time. He was just walking out in his neighborhood, taking a walk, and the police had him stopped, not in a vehicle, not on his feet walking, and the popo had stopped him out in the street, talking about he fit the description. Y'all know how I feel about that phrase. He fit the description. And I said, listen, you will. No, we ain't going here. This is my nephew. And I know his demeanor. I know how he ain't out here traumatizing and terrorizing nobody, talking about he fit the description. So 3rd grade is where they use the test scores for the school. And that is absolutely correct, Dr. Dady Priest. I was in Kansas City and I was functioning on an official capacity within an organization that I represented. And the mayor and the people were basically talking about those 3rd grade scores and how critical they are to how many prison jail cells and how many prisons overall. And let's deal with the idea of privatization. This again is going in somebody's pocket. Somebody's making money off of this, an individual or a corporation, because it's privatized prisons. They're using those 3rd grade test scores to decide how many prisons they need to build. And that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, no lies told. So I want us to be aware, 6 years old. Now I want to deal with it from this angle as well. This is a prime example of dismantling the police department from the top to the bottom. And you are exactly right. Jabez, come on, there's trauma. To a hammer, everything is a nail. If your school has no licensed counselor, then how can you want a cop there? Now, that's exactly where I was going, Jabez. Also, stop calling them resource officers. They're cops. That's exactly where I was going, because this is what I want us to understand. If that cop doesn't know not to arrest a 6-year-old, come on. That's all I'm saying, Stacy 546. Now, this is a point, and you all know I've talked about it before, but this is a prime reason to address it again. And this is where I was going when I asked for all the instructors and teachers and professors and administrators in education to come forth, and coaches. I appreciate you as well, Z Lady C. Now, listen, y'all, we have slept on this, and I'm going to bring it to our attention one more time. They're not resource officers, they're cops. Now, we slept on this, and we let it slip through the cracks. This whole element of not waiting until the children get in the streets to arrest them. They have now come into the school system as quote unquote resource counselors, resource officers rather. And now they're arresting them from the schools. And I said this to you all, and I don't know if we wasn't paying attention. I said, pay attention to now allow the police officers to come in and arrest the children from inside the school. Because now they get records not on the street, but they're giving brown and black children records from the school. And these records count. It's not like I got detention 2 or 3 times. It's not like I got some kind of demerit. These kids are walking out of school with records. Do you understand the words that are coming out? This is a direct frontal assault on our kids, and this is a perfect example for 2 6-year-olds to get arrested in the school and have a record. Now, y'all, come on now. I told you. I tried to tell you. 6-year-old children that if this woman had not intervened, they would have been in the system with a record. An arrest record. Are y'all asleep? Are y'all hearing me? They would have had an arrest record at 6 years old if this woman had not intervened. So we have sat back and allowed this whole system of policing to infiltrate the school walls, where they are now trying to arrest our babies before they even walk out into the street. Now, I said this and I pointed this out several months ago. The fastest area of growth in the police department, I mean, folks are retiring and leaving the police force to become officers in the school system. Now, if that's not a tale, I don't know what is. Why would you leave this over here? Because listen, I feared for my life. You feared for your life on the streets with your racist self. Now you're going to take your racist lips, hips, and fingertips and go down and get little 6-year-old kids? I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. This is Yes You O Cube. And at the end of the day, I tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tell it like it T-I-Z-Tis. They're coming and have infiltrated the school system, and you got scaredy cat police officers that fear for their lives on the street. Now they gonna come traumatize your child in the school system as a resource officer. You're not what resources are you given other than arrest warrants? I didn't know an arrest warrant was a resource. Explain it to me, Lucy. I did not know that an arrest warrant and an arrest on my record was a resource. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. What kind of resources are they bringing to the school? Answer. Explain it to me, Lucy. What kind of resources are they bringing? Guns, batons, and mace. That's the only resources they have. Guns, batons, and mace. And a stun gun. I said what I said. And I'll add to it if I take it back. They got guns, batons, mace, and tasers. Good morning. Somebody came in. K2, who come on in here, my sister. Mad love to you. The school system tried to press charges on your son because, you know what? Because he pushed a kid after that kid kicked him in the butt, pinched him in the butt. And you sued the mess out of the school, as you well should have. Kim Blue is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Kim Blue, quick to wise. She's going to bless your whole life. Thank you for that. Listen, I just need y'all to pay attention. Because a 6-year-old child, you mean to tell me you cannot manage two 6-year-old children that, again, it was a misdemeanor offense. That's all they'll say. It's a misdemeanor offense. And the reason why they won't say more than misdemeanor offense, because it's probably something stupid. It's probably something stupid. And rather than admit and acknowledge how stupid this arrest was for two little 6-year-old kids, they'll label it as a misdemeanor offense rather than come clean and tell the truth. Now, this part right here. Oh, this part right here. Now, as we so frequently say, now this is going viral right now, but this actually happened in June. Now, it's going viral right now because this attorney general has taken the position of standing against the school to prison pipeline. It's trending today in addition to, and good, absolutely Crazy Berrytown, good for suing that school. Now, I want you all to pay attention to this video that I'm getting ready to show, because this is trending right now after this release of charges and the killing, this arrest of these two children by this woman. Now, this is being released as if this happened since that occurred, but this actually happened in June. Nonetheless, I want you to get the full impact of this right here, because at the end of the day, please believe me, black don't matter when it comes to the position, because this is that same attorney general that dropped the charges against the two 6-year-old children. This is what she had to live through, and here we go.
You're good. What agency you with?
I'm the state attorney.
All right. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
So it was.
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
Now note, you got one white police officer on one side. You got one white police officer on the other side. So when you see her looking from, and I'm going to remind you again, this is the black state attorney general that you all just saw dropping these arrest charges against these 6-year-old kids. That's who the driver of this car is. And that's why this video from June has resurfaced. Now, mind you, this was not after she dropped the charges the other day. This was before. But I just want y'all to understand, at the end of the day, why do you have one officer on one side, one officer on the other side? And I want y'all to pay attention. Here we go. And this, listen. The state attorney general is who we're watching here.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's the traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing.
Now, she asked the question of all questions, what was my tag run for? Because I think, Stacy 546, if you're still in here, correct me. Chef Nobi, come on in here with breakfast. Mad love to you. Chef Nobi is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following Chef Nobi, quit your ways. Just quit him. She's going to bless your whole life. Come on in, sis. Now, Stacy 546 or any other person that knows that you know, I thought you had to have a reason to run my tag. I thought you had to have a reason to run my tag. I thought I had to be in some kind of infraction for you. Not, you can run the tag, and obviously, but the question that what am I being stopped for? Now, anytime, that's what I was told too, Chef Nobi. Anytime they get ready, he said, oh, we do it all the time. And her question to me says, I question whether or not he was in the right, because let me back it up just a little bit, because I want you to look at the look on her face when she asked him, also, what was I stopped for?
The windows are really dark. I don't have a tint measure, but.
Now, okay, I'm going to run this again. He then proceeds to say, your windows are really dark. I'm going to, when we get to the right point, I'm going to stop and I want y'all to look at the windows on his car while he's stopping her for her windows being tinted extremely dark. My Lock Journey. Jabez. Your windows are extremely dark and your tag is not coming back. Here we go.
That's another reason for the stop.
Do you guys have cards on you?
Yeah, 1 second, please. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you like.
A tent measure, Psychor fit.
What's your employee number? 157. Ready? There you are. Have a good day.
Now, look at the tint on his windows. And yes, he did say he didn't have a tint measure. He didn't have a tint measure, but her windows are extremely dark. And look at the windows on this truck. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like for you to direct your eyes to his windows. 2 cops, 2 police officers, 2 police officers. 2 mints in 1, 2. Now he says her windows look extremely dark. His tent, K2 Hoop, is the same color as his black truck, black. But he stops her because her tag didn't come back and her windows are extremely dark. Come on in here, Team No Pants. Nothing but mad love to you. Team No Pants is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Team No Pants, quit your ways, quit them, because I'm here to tell you, you're going to get a blessing over there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank you for coming in there. Now, listen, this is the kind of foolishness. And as I said, if you ever had a question, at the end of it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the whole idea, an official law, whatever, if you got a law on the books, keep the law on the books for everybody. And I don't care about them being law. I don't care about them being whatever. At the end of the day, this was a bogus stop. That's my point. It was a bogus stop. Bogus. And as I've said on numerous occasions, if you look at the situation, 2 officers roll up on this car, one on one side, one on the other, of this black woman in the vehicle by herself. It just so happened that she was the state attorney general. And I tell people all the time, I don't care if you're a police officer. I don't care if you're the state attorney general. I don't care whatever you want to tack behind your name. At the end of the day, Stacy in Kansas, it doesn't matter whether they're law or not. And I'm from Kansas as well. Obviously, since we went to school together. So I guess it makes a difference what state you're in, but it doesn't matter. Where we come from, it doesn't matter. There is an amount of tent you can have or not, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's the same for everybody in Kansas Virtual Mix. So at the end of the day, bogus. I call bogus. Good morning, Crystal Method. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on through here. Mad love to you. You have limo tint on all your cars. Even your front windshield is tinted. You're from Florida. I got you. And at the end of the day, whether it's the same in Florida versus Kansas, because I know in Kansas it doesn't work like that in Kansas and Missouri. So obviously we have different laws, and obviously they're different states. At the end of the day, I'm an advocate. If you gonna take and give me a ticket for a certain level of tint, you shouldn't have an illegal tint on your window, and it shouldn't be okay for you just because you're a police officer or something. No. I don't flow for that. But Florida does things just a little differently. At the end of the day, I'm this point right here. The realities that when you come out of that office, when you take off that uniform, when they no longer can readily identify you as some level of an authority within whatever system you're operating in, at the end of the day, you still just another black body. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. And I know what I'm talking about because I've seen many instances of black police officers that were handled and mishandled at the hand of their white police officer counterparts when they were not in uniform. And this whole, as I saw Jabez say it earlier, it's like a police state. We are constantly being policed. And as it would be, you didn't stop her for speeding. You didn't stop her for any, and if you were gonna now let's just put our minds to this. If you were stopping her for tent violation, wouldn't you need to have a tent tester, or you are just so, your eyes are so keen that they can pick up and detect one iota over the tent regulation? Your eyes are so keen. Listen, miss me with that. If you're gonna stop me for a tent violation, you better have a tent tester. What are you talking about? So at the end of the day, as we continue this fight and this struggle, you know his sphincter is real tight right now, because at the end of the day, when he realized who he just pulled over, I'm sure he had heart palpitations and everything else. But this is the point. That's Should anybody have to undergo that? Absolutely, positively not. And this is the issue that we continue to cry out against and insist that the system must change. And the system is skewed, and the system for black people is definitely different than the system for white folks. Now, we can argue, could he see through the windows? Did she know she was black or not? I'm going to go back to the point. Why are you running her tag? Why are you, main man, full of the brown stuff, Why are you just randomly running folks' tags? Why are you just randomly picking people and pulling them over? Nothing's been done. There's no illegal activity. There's nothing at all that you're really stopping me for, other than at some point we need to be able to say some of this stuff is pretty near police harassment. Now, this is what I want us to identify and understand. And listen, it's already 9 o'clock, so I done missed my talk this morning, but I'm here and I'm going to address this right here. This is what I want us to recognize. Nobody should be killed for property. And what we are witnessing, what we are experiencing, and always have, even right back to the slave patrols, is that property, and I'm saying that only because the slaves that ran away were considered property. Property is more important than people's lives. I said what I said. Property becomes more important than people's lives. And I'm going to say it once more and again. Have you all seen the video of the young lady that was shot and murdered because they thought she had stolen some alcohol? Even there was a whole other group of folk. And this is the question it begs to be answered. Do we really believe that property, some alcohol, if she stole it, and this is the thing, they didn't come out and tell that, oh, Shelly, listen, they didn't come out and acknowledge that they had killed the woman, shot her dead in her car, 6 months pregnant, and the baby died. Are y'all listening to me? The baby died, and the woman. And you hear them doing all this talking and all this setup. Stop, pull over. But the woman was dead. She was pregnant too, Dr. Dady. The woman was dead. They're doing all of this talk. They're setting up all of this for the audio. And they're giving all of this. And how many times have we seen it? Where they have us on the ground. They are doing everything that they possibly can violently to our bodies, where the person is just lying there and you keep hearing them scream, stop resisting. Ain't nobody resisting, they're dead. But you're making it stop resisting, stop resisting. Ain't nobody resisting. There's no life in their body. Stop resisting. They're not breathing. Stop resisting. Listen, stop lying.
Why you always lying?
Am I talking to anybody? Point of order. No person is a slave. Come on. I appreciate you for that, Jabez. Nobody is a slave. I appreciate you for that. Dollars and property and stuff. So this or self. This is where I want to say it was a double murder. It was absolutely positively a double murder. And at the end of the day, do you mean to tell me that you think some alcohol, and they still ain't came out as to whether or not they found any alcohol in her car, because there were groups and the group ran out and got in one car. She went and got in her car just walking out the store. And you gonna, now this is why I believe her. Because if you remember the story, if you saw the video, it is very graphic. If you can't handle it, don't go look at it. If you gonna get, don't go look at it, because I'm telling you, it is graphic. At the end of the day, you see her roll down her window and say, what's the problem? Now, if she was really trying to be a thief and get away, she wouldn't be rolling down the window having a conversation with the police officer asking him what's the matter. Do y'all understand the words that are? She would not be rolling down the window having a conversation with the popo talking about what's the matter. Somebody said that you stole. She said, I ain't stole S. And you not going to arrest me for nothing. And at this point, that joker pulls out his gun standing in front of the car and shot her graveyard dead over some liquor? Are you kidding me right now? Over some liquor. You killed a 6-month pregnant black woman over some liquor. And y'all still ain't said whether or not she had. And instead of going after the group that they identified, jumped in a car and drove off, instead of trying to track them down, you gonna go over because she had no tags on her car. And I don't believe they found nothing either, Chef Nobi. Because listen, I'm going to tell you what, Chef Nobi, if they had found liquor in the car, they would have hurried up in the press conference to say, and such was found in her vehicle. But what do we get? They didn't find nothing in that woman's car because they would have hurried up and told it. You have killed. And the woman had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, I think it was, and she was due to deliver in November over some liquor.
You shall not pass!
Property. And this, though, even to stand your ground that Zimmerman wanted to stand on. This is my house. This is my This boy is walking down the street. But the reality is that we're policing just like the police started in the slavery times as slave hunters. Welcome. Ain't nothing changed. Castronova 97, welcome and thank you for following. Nothing has changed. At the end of the day, and welcome to the Lion's Den. So glad to have you, Castronova. At the end of the day, what we are protecting is not lives and individuals. It's not the security of the people. It's property. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Castronova, I don't have any ramen noodles on my head, but why are you here talking silly? Why are you here talking silly? You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Now, so at the end of the day, we look at the realities of what we are dealing with, and it cannot be denied that it is property. Oh, I knew he was gone before. Listen, I just said it for good measure, Stacy 546. I know they got him. They got him before I opened my lips. Please believe it. Cause baby, my mods don't play. Coming here talking crazy, you gonna get put out. And demand from your journalists eyewitness accounts from folk who are not on the force. Come on, the police. Police will insinuate narratives. Get the beat reporters' account from the people. Honey, police lies, and that is a proven fact, and there's no lies told, Jabez. No lies told. Because the man, the police chief already came out with his narrative. Virtual Mix, I'm trying to tell you, we don't play over here. The gang works. They work overtime to keep this stream straight. So at the end, try Jesus, not us. I'm trying to tell you. That mod squad, listen, I'm trying to tell you, I got the best anywhere. Y'all better ask anybody. Don't play with my beauties, honey, because they are my blessed trinity and they not playing with you. They going to make sure that this stays a safe and accountable space for everybody that comes up in here. Please believe it. They are Block a Hole Ministry right there. Please believe it. Now, at the end of the day, the police chief already tried to come out with a slanted narrative that people started calling him on the carpet and reading him for filth. Because at the end of the day, no, we ain't buying what you selling. We are not buying what you are selling. So I want to address this once more and again. I want to come out and I want to absolutely address how the police have continued to police us like we're in a police state, all the way back to the 6-year-old children. Disco Dead, it was another koala, but honey, he didn't get anywhere. 6-year-old children. And I'm going to say this as we get ready to get out of here because I am over. But I do want us to identify. We let our guards down in some areas, and it's like this just happened overnight in our school system. How is the resource officer position? Police officers are leaving the street and the beat to go into the schools, and that's the fastest growing area of police and law enforcement. Y'all pay attention. Pay attention. Why is that the fastest growing area in law enforcement? Why? 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 And I'm really serious. I want y'all to get in your minds that this has got to stop. Because at the point and place that you're arresting 6-year-old babies in the school system, not on the street, you didn't get them out in the home. You didn't get them in some kind of domestic violence. You didn't get them in some neighborhood. You came in the school. You came in their environment of learning and arrested 2 6-year-old kids. Why?
Asking for a friend.
Why is law enforcement in the schools the fastest growing segment of law enforcement?
Asking for a friend.
Why are you taking little black and brown kids and treating them and manhandling them like they're full grown adults, body slamming and everything else in the schools?
Asking for a friend.
There was a certain group of SROs who didn't like me as a principal because I didn't give them access to your school. And come on, Dr. Dady, we're going to give you props for that, sis. Props for that, because protect the babies at any cost. I want to interject this. I want to interject this in your thoughts. Because listen, I'm not for it. I don't have any children in the school system currently, but I'm an advocate for everybody else's children too. I want you to ask yourselves this, and again, what kind of resources are they bringing? I want you to stop and put everything else aside and imagine if that was your 6-year-old child. What do you think the trauma level was to a 6-year-old child? I don't care if they were acting out. I was a child that acted out. What do you think was the trauma of a 6-year-old child being approached by a full-grown police officer and having him handle you as a criminal and arrest you? And can you imagine what those 6-year-olds felt like inside their bodies? Now, I just want you to stop and think about that. And if you have no sense of feeling what those little kids were feeling as they got arrested, and as she identified the gender and said the little girl, that the charges and the case number had been assigned to her, she had already released and canceled those charges, and she's waiting for the next case to get assigned the number and processed, and she's going to do the same thing. But can you imagine a little 6-year-old girl? I don't care how hardcore she is. I don't care how hardened she may be from her experience at home. And if she's 6 years old and she's already in that kind of drama and trauma, baby, if you don't have compassion, if you don't have care, if you don't have concern that a 6-year-old is already in the throes of life by 6, you know it was terrifying for him, Stacy. You know it was terrifying, Psych Fit. You know it was terrifying. And this is where when was the last time? Come on, John Studios. Listen, I can almost guarantee you ain't no Caucasian 6-year-old kids being arrested in nobody's school. I don't care what they did. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Because I'm going to tell you what the fear is. If they do that to a 6-year-old child that's from a white family, they're going to be sued. They're going to be sued. They're going to be handled. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Black girls are disciplined at a higher rate than their counterparts, all because they're articulate and don't play into the white teachers' games. And I know that's right, because, honey, if I speak for myself, I'm going to tell you, I've had this mouth ever since I was a little girl. I've had this mouth ever since I've been in this world. And nothing makes a racist madder than a black woman that will open her mouth. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. I know this wench didn't open her mouth and say XYZ is the mentality that they're going to come from, the energy that they're going to have. And I ain't your gal. Listen, this black woman, this black girl, this black child is going to open her mouth and say something. And I don't care how angry you are. So yes, Dr. Dady, black girls are disciplined at a higher rate because we're going to open our mouths and say something, and we're not playing into those little games. We don't play reindeer games. So at the end of the day, I want us to stop and begin to identify what needs to change. We're about change and being the change. We need these officers. We need these police out of the schools. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Now let's go down to Texas. And there was a police officer in there when that gunman came, nowhere to be found. And after the shooting started, didn't show up. He didn't report for duty. And after all the rest of the police officers showed up, they didn't report for duty. While that gunman was loose in there for how many minutes, shooting up students and teachers. but you stood outside. We watched you talk on your telephone. He ran, Crystal Method. We watched you do everything but protect human life. Now, you'll protect a bottle of liquor. You'll protect somebody's potentially stolen vehicle. You'll protect somebody's house and the belongings in the house. But when you were given the opportunity to protect human life, when you were given the opportunity to protect little children, when you were given the opportunity to protect teachers, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Listen, we are the change that we want to see. And at the end of the day, I want us to think about, we need these officers out of our schools, because when you had opportunities to protect us, you were nowhere to be found. And at the end of the day, if that's really what you're there for, do your job, but stop arresting little black children. My life journey, I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Come on, Virtue Mix. I hear you talking. I hear you. So listen, at the end of the day, we are advocating for our children. We will not see them traumatized. We will not see them penalized. We will not see them school to prison pipelined. We're going to stand up for our babies. I said what I said. I'll add to it if I take it back. I appreciate everybody that joined me here today. If you didn't know, now you know. If you were unaware of the case, please, 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 not only in Florida, not only in these other states that seem to have the laws that they're passing to push us back to Jim Crow, but everywhere, I want you all to advocate for justice. Let justice run down like a stream. Cry loud, spare not. Don't just sit there and watch it happen to our communities. These police officers need to get out of our schools. And I said what I said. I'll add for it, take it back. Now listen, this has been another edition of Yes You O Cube. I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. It's another fine day, and I appreciate everybody that came in. Everybody that's here, I love you with the love of God. I absolutely positively do. And you better look out, because at the end of the day, we are the change that we want to see. And this pride, Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. It's us, you, me, we all, because we all going to work together to make a change. I want to appreciate everybody that came in to support the Lions Den today. Listen, I appreciate you, because we're building something. To our followers that got put out, come on. To our moderators, the Rebel Inc., Shelly Thunder, Michelle Brown, oh, thank you so much. John Studios, thank you for that resub. We're building something. I appreciate everybody that's here, and I want to invite you to join the raid where we're headed. Now listen, I want to say thank you to Regina Sims for this beautiful, awesome song, Won't Be This Way Always. You can get it on iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play, Spotify. Baby, it's out there. You can get it. Now, at the end of it all, if you want to connect with her, go to prmusicgroup.com. She'll bless your life. At the end of the day, David Ryan Charity, where they speak the motto, love on purpose. That's my corporate sponsor, and I appreciate you. I want you all to go out and support them. They're doing a beautiful work. Ride this raid train, because we're going somewhere, and I want you to come go with us. We will do you good. Now, at the end of it all, my moderators always admonish you. Have an amazing day on purpose. Do what you love what you do, and peace for your journey.